Welcome back everybody. Today's review is going to be about L'Envol de Cartier. This is the EDP version. It's the first version released in 2016. The nose behind this fragrance is Mathilde Laurent, who is responsible for several compositions for the House of Cartier, and she's done quite a few things for Guerlain as well. If you hear some noises in the background, it's because I have a kitten running around here and he's playing with all the Christmas baubles and scratching stuff, so try not to let that distract you. He might try and climb on top of me as I'm speaking. L'Envol de Cartier, I've got a decant here. I've got a dry down going on this hand. I'll spray the opening. Now, this was apparently inspired by mead wine, which is, to my understanding, spiced honey wine drunk warm, I think, in the winter. I think it's more popular in parts of Europe and North America than it is here. It's a pretty nice opening, but I tell you, the main things that I get here are really mainly violet leaf and some obscure, slightly smoky, woody background. It is, as it dries down, the best way I can describe this scent is not so much airy, it's more of a hollow scent. Like, it feels like I've sprayed something on, you get hit with the violet and this like very light woods underneath the violet leaf. But as it dries down, nothing much else happens. And I have to just put it down to my skin not being compatible with this particular scent, because if you read enough reviews on this and watch other YouTube reviews, this is a little bit hyped. Like, people really like this scent and I really fail to get that enthusiasm for this fragrance. It is pleasant enough, what you smell is pleasant enough, but see, the thing is, I don't get any honey really at all. I don't get, I mean, some of the other notes that are listed here, musk, there's iris listed, there's cedar. I mean, that could be in there, but I'm kind of left really wanting a bit with this scent, and ultimately it just ends up being a little bit of a disappointment. And being in EDP, I expect it to sit close to the skin as well, but even the longevity on my skin is pretty disappointing. I kind of feel a bit shortchanged whenever I've worn this as my scent of the day, because a few hours later it's barely there. Now, you know, thankfully, I would never have blind bought a bottle, but at least, you know, we're talking about a designer house, and generally I like the House of Cartier, Declaration being one of my very favorite scents, but L'Envol was quite hyped when it came out. It still has its fans, and I guess it just works on their skin. On my skin it doesn't work. So really, if I'm going to have to recommend anything to you regarding this scent, is that please don't blind buy it, even though we're talking about designer fragrance and it's at, you know, designer prices. It's still not, you know, it's still not a cheap designer. And if you have the same experience as I did with this, quiet please, you'll be left really disappointed. I haven't tried the EDT version, which came out a year later. So this came out in 2016, EDT came out in 2017, and I think there is a Parfum version. But ultimately, I just find this very disappointing. It's kind of light and like a really hollow scent. Nothing about it smells bad. It's just a nothing fragrance for me, to be honest. You know, I would find it really hard to recommend L'Envol other than to say, please, please, please try it. And before this guy behind me makes any more noise, I might leave it at that. That's my review. Thanks for watching.